All right, so we're gonna start reassembling this Briggs & Stratton engine. So our first step after we disassembled it, of course, and now it's down to that bare block, is now we're going to reassemble it. And we're gonna start by putting in our crankshaft back in. So again, this is our crankshaft, and it's going to slide. So that tapered end is going to go to this outside section here. We can kind of spin this around. This is where our tapered shaft is going to be, and the reason why the tapered shaft goes to that side is because that's where our flywheel is going to attach. So into the case, we're gonna first put this back in. All right, so now we have our crankshaft installed, and now we've got to get our piston inside of it. So remember this tool that we talked about earlier, which was our piston ring compressor. So we want to slide that. Again, that notch that's on the top is what's going to go against that, so this does not slide in. So you want to make sure that when we install this over our piston, it's going to be notched down. So we want to loosen this up just enough that this should then slip over our rings. All right, and our piston. You want to have access to those bolts, so we kind of get this in place. Start to spin this down. All right, we're going to get that as tight as possible, and then we could insert our piston into the block. So with that down, we can take a rubber mallet. So this rubber mallet, we can kind of just slowly tap that down. Once it starts getting a little bit further down, we could use the bottom end. Looks like I got hung up on a ring. So kind of maybe I didn't. I think I just got hung up on the crankshaft. There we go. Now we have that piston in. All right. So here, let's click that down. Make sure we have good range of motion. All right. So now we kind of, if you guys could see all right, let me just check to make sure we are somewhat in focus. All right, so now that piston is in place, now we can start putting our cap on. So we had two different lengths of screws. Remember, these were the fine thread screws, which are going to go into this cap, onto our connecting rod. And we also had this part as well, which is our oil slinger, or dipper. So the oil dipper is what's actually going to dip into the oil and then spread that out and around into our engine. Also, we have a groove on this cap. So as this cap kind of goes in place, that groove needs to sit into the other groove. Again, the longer screw is going to be for that longer groove. We're going to start that, and then the dipper is going to go into place. And we want to use the shorter of the screws onto that front side. They should thread in fairly easy. If they don't, then kind of back them out again. We don't want to cross thread it just because this is pretty soft aluminum. And once those are in place, we could use our ratchet. And we could use a smaller drive, which is this 1/4-inch drive ratchet, to then spin these up, get them a little bit further in by hand. snug these up. Alright, we can make sure that everything is good as we kind of check motion. See how that kind of dipper goes down. It's going to sling everything up. And that's installing the piston.